So once again, good afternoon, everybody. So
Ăn tàu.
our lesson for today is about writing decimals in expanded form, and we were going to use your book to children. After we're going to have some activity. Okay. So before we're going to have our discussion, I'm just going to play the short video about our lesson. So listen carefully because I'm going to pause and play later on, and then I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay. Are you okay, children?
Hello. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome to Math with Mr. J. In this video, I'm going to cover how to put decimals into expanded form, and we have 4 examples that we're going to go through together in order to get this down. Now, when I say expanded form, what we're going to do is expand these numbers out to show the value of each digit. Expanded form really helps our overall number sense and understanding of numbers. So let's jump into number 1, where we have 75 hundredths. Now there's a place value chart at the top of your screen. I'm going to place that number in the chart. That way we can really break it down and see what the value of each digit is going to be. In the case of number 1, we start with a 0. So this is showing us that we don't have a whole number. So 0 would go in our whole number portion of the place value chart. Then we have our decimal. Now the tenths place, and we have a 7. Then we have a 5, which is sitting in the hundredths place. So we can clearly see that we have 7 tenths and 5 hundredths. So when we put this in expanded form, there are 2 options. We can use decimals or we can use fractions. They are equivalent to each other, so it doesn't really matter, but it's good to know both. So I will do both here. I'll start with decimals. And we will start with the greatest valued digit, which is going to be that 7. So the digit furthest to the left. And that 7 is worth 7 tenths. Plus, that 5 has a value, or is worth 5 hundredths. And that's how you would write number 1.
Okay. So children, listen up. Okay. Any number that doesn't have a point at the beginning is a whole number. Okay. It is a whole number. But okay, and any number that starts with decimal point is a decimal number. So if you're going to expand decimal, okay, so you're going to start with the tens place. So the tens place doesn't have 0 in the beginning. It's just a decimal point, children. So you're going to put 7 in here, and then you're going to put, first you're going to put what, children? Decimal point. Okay, this one, 0, he just put 0 in here because it doesn't have a whole number. So we have 0.7, and then you're going to use plus, and then you're going to, what, children? You're going to change 7 into 0. So that would be 0.05 or 0.5 hundredths. Okay, hundredths. Okay. Now we're going to move on. So this one is the place value chart of decimal. Okay, this one is the whole number, and then we're going to start with the tens, hundreds. After the decimal, we're going to start with the tens, hundreds, and thousands. Can you follow, children? I will just recapping our past lesson for this one. Now we're going to move on with number 2.
1 in expanded form using decimals. A common mistake would be to write 7 tenths plus 5 tenths. But
No.
that 5, you can't have 2 digits sitting in the same place. That 5 is in the hundredths place. So we need this placeholder 0 to push that 5 over to the hundredths. Now, as far as fractions go, we would write 7 tenths plus 5 hundredths.
We're not going to
These are
use
equivalent
the...
right here. One's in decimal form, one's in...
Okay, so children, I'm not going to let you write this one in fraction. We're just going to concentrate on writing decimals in expanded form, okay? So that you can understand
form, and these are equivalent. So these are the exact same thing. One is obviously in decimal form and one is in fractional form. So on to number 2, where we have 75 thousandths. Now it looks very similar to number 1, but the 7 is in a different place and the 5 is in a different place. So we do not have a whole number. We have a 0 in the tenths, and our 7 is in the hundredths place this time. So our decimal is going to be 7 hundredths. So notice plus 5 thousandths. So we need 2 zeros to push the 5 over to the thousandths place. A 5 in the, or a 0 in the tenths and a 0 in the hundredths. Fractional form, well, 7 hundredths plus 5 thousandths. All right, on to number 3 and 4, where we're going to have a...
Okay, so children, listen up. Okay, so you have seen this one. You must be wondering, where does the 0 goes? Okay, so if it means if you only have 0.07 means the hundredths place is 0. Okay, so you just have 0.077 hundredths. Okay, plus 0.005 thousandths. Okay, so the 0 is missing in here. So it means this one. If you didn't see the 0, it means automatically you're going to put 0 in here for the hundreds, for the tenths place. Okay, so next we're going to move on.
Whole number and a decimal. So for number 3, we have 15 and 4 tenths. So let's put the whole number in expanded form first. So start with the greatest value digit, the digit furthest to the left, and that happens to be this 1. So what is the value of that 1? Well, it has a value of 10. Plus, this 5 in the ones place has a value of 5. Plus 4 tenths here. So I'll write it in decimal form first. So we have the 1, the 5, and the 4 included, and we showed the value of each. So fractional form, the whole numbers are going to stay the exact same. The decimal, however, is going to be 4 tenths. On to number 4, we have 3 and 207 thousandths. So we start with the 3 here, which has a value of 3 because it's in the ones place. So 3 plus the value of this 2, which is 2 tenths. Now the hundredths place, we have a 0, so we do not need to include that in our expanded form. This 7 is in the thousandths. So plus, and we need 2 zeros. I'll squeeze it in here. 7,000.
Okay, so children, have you seen number 4? Number 4, the 0 is not written. Okay, so automatically, the hundredths place, you're going to put 0 in there. Do you understand, children? If you have a decimal 0 next to the number, do you understand, children, in here? Hello? Okay, so we're going to have another example. So I'm going to have this one. Okay, just a moment. I will just going to share to you my screen. We're going to try it in our own way, without the video. Okay, here you go. Tens, hundreds, thousands. Okay. So you have here 78. Could you please read this number, Sophia? Sophia?
78 and 809 thousandths.
809? 809? Kindly again, please.
78 and 809,000.
Okay, 809,000. Okay, because the way that you read the number, the decimal number is, and if you use for the decimal point. Okay, so we have here the other way in reading this decimal is 78,809. Okay, so we're going to have this one. Okay, so how are we going to write this one in an expanded form? So we have two whole number in three decimal numbers. Okay, so how are we going to write this one? 7. So we're going to start with 7. That is in the, we have the ones in the tens place. So we're going to have 70. And then what next, children? What next? This one, 8 is in the ones place. So we're going to just put, we're going to put 8 in here, plus 8. And then next, plus, we have, what, children? 8 in the tens place. So what are we going to do with it, children? Anybody? That would be 0.8. And then we're going to move on. We have here 0. So we're not going to use that one. We're not going to write that one. So it's automatically that place will be 0. Okay, so next we're going to have 0 point. How many numbers are there? You're going to change this 8 into 0. And then it should be here. 0 and then 0 in here. So that 9 would be in the thousands place. Can you follow, children? Can you follow? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay, one more. We're going to have one more. Okay. So what if we have this one? So we have 0.1234. Okay, 1234. Okay. So we're going to have this one. Okay. So if we're going to write decimals in expanded form, okay, so we're going to start with the tens place. We're going to start with the tens place, which is that one. We're going to put 0 in here. We're just going to put 0 in here. Okay, so how are we going to write 1 in decimal expanded form? Okay, so we're going to have this one, 1. And then we're going to move on, plus, what would be the next? 2, right? 2 is in the hundreds place. So how many numbers before the hundred place? One number. So we're going to change 1 into 0. So we're going to have no 0, no whole number. So we're just going to put 0 in the whole number. This one is for the whole number. So no whole number. And then we're going to have 0. We're going to replace 1 with 0. And then we're going to put 2 in here. Oh, again, where do I have to put it there? 2 in here. And then next, we're going to have 3. Okay, how many? 3 is in the hundreds place. Before hundreds place, how many numbers? There are 1, 2. So we're going to change. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 3. That's in the hundreds place. Is in the hundreds place. And then next, we're going to move on. This one, 4. Okay, so how many places? 4 is in the thousands place. So we're going how many places before thousands place? There are 3 places. Okay, so we're going to move on this one, 0.0123, and then 4 is in the hundreds place. Can you follow, children? Can you follow? Now.
Yes.
Okay, one more. So what if we have number 3? I have 234. 234 and 9, 2. Okay. I have these decimals. Okay, how are you going to write this one in expanded form? 234 and 9, what? 9,267 10 thousands. How are you going to write this one, children? But the other way is you're going to read 234.9267 10 thousands. Okay, how are you going to write this one, children? What would be the first one that you're going to write? Anybody? We're going to go on first with the whole numbers. Whole numbers are 234. Okay, so first we're going to have 2. Okay, 200 plus, what would be next, children? Plus 30 plus 4. And then we're going to move on with the decimals. Okay, so we have 0.9. Next, we have 0.02. In the next, 0.006. In the next, we're going to have 0.0007. Can you understand, children? Yes or no? Can you follow? Can you follow? Yes or no? Those who cannot follow, could you please raise your hand? Those who cannot follow, could you please raise your hand? Anybody who cannot follow? Okay, let's see. No one is raising their hands. And I think you're not listening to. Okay, so we're going to have this one. Number 4. 740.65. Okay. What would be the first one in here, Sophia?
700.
We're not going to answer your book yet. We are still in our activity. Okay, so if you're going to expand this one, children, how are you going to expand this decimal numbers? So we have 740 and 65 thousands. Okay, so how are you going to write this one? How are you going to write this one, Sophia?
700
Focus one. 700 plus we
plus
have
40
plus 40, and then what next?
plus 0.
We're not going to put 0 anymore, okay? Plus 0 0.0.
0.0.
0.0? 0.0 what? 0, 6. And then what next, children?
Plus 0.005.
Wait up. 0, 0, 5. Can you follow? One more. What if we have like this one? One more, children. What if we have, yes?
Write in the notebook.
No. No. What if we have this one? Okay. So how are you going to write this one in decimal? Anybody?
90 plus
90 plus
9
plus 9 plus
plus 0.9
0.9, and then plus
0.02
0.02. Okay, 0.02 plus
0.003
0.003. Okay, plus
0.0004.
4. Great job, children. Can you follow, children? You see, you just only change the numbers into 0, 0 to put that number in her place value. That's why you needed the place value chart, children. Okay. Those who cannot follow, could you please raise your hand? Those who cannot understand, could you please raise your hand, children? Minnie, you've been raising your hand a while ago. Can you not follow? Okay, one more. How about this one? We're going to have one more. What if we have okay, this one 78 and 345 and 345 what children? Thou cents. Okay. So how are you going to expand this number? What would be the first, children? Anybody?
70
70. And then what next?
plus 8
Okay, plus 8 plus
plus 0.3
0. 0.3. Okay, and then next
plus 0.004
0.04.
4
Okay, and then plus
plus 0.005
okay 0.05. Can you understand now, children? Who cannot understand, could you please raise your hand ใครไม่เข้าใจยกมือค่ะ Before I'm going to let you do something. Anybody? Okay. So could you please write this one on your notebook, children? Write this first on your notebook so that you have some example. And then later on, I'm going to let you do something. Okay, just a moment. I will just going to put writing. Writing decimal in expanded form. Okay. Okay, so children, could you please get your notebook and write this one on your notebook so that you won't forget. Those who cannot understand, could you please raise your hand so that I know. Those who cannot follow, could you please raise your hand, children? Those who cannot understand, raise your hand, please. Okay, get your book and copy this one. And then later on, I'm going to let you do some activity on your book, and then we're going to check afterwards, okay? Anybody who cannot understand, children, could you please raise your hands? Those who cannot understand, raise your hands, please. If no one is raising their hand, it means everybody understand. Okay, Mai? You all understand, right? Okay. Ah. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Would that be enough for you to copy that one? And then we're going to answer your book, children. 2 minutes. Finish?
No.
What number are you now?
Number one.
Number
Number one.
Number one. Number four. Okay, make it fast till when? Because we still have some activity on your book to be answered. That will be your activity for today on your book. Okay, are you done till when?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
One more minute, children. And then we're going to proceed with our activity. Finish?
No. Finish. No.
Those who are not yet finished, could you please raise your hand?
Kaya
Those
na
who
sa
are not yet finished, raise your hand, please. Let me see. Okay. Friendship, what number are you now? Josh? Friendship in Josh, what number are you now?
Number 3.
Number 3. How about you, Josh? Home? What number are you now? Oh, it's home in Josh. Home, how about you, home? What number are you now? Home? Is it home or Radha? The one who raised her hand.
Cow home.
Home. Okay, so children, while waiting for the others to finish, okay, so could you please open your book on page 122?
Okay.
Open your math 4B book on page 122. Okay, so you have here activity 1, write the expanded form of each decimal. Okay, just a moment, children. We're just going to wait for Josh and Kahom to finish for a little bit. Kahom and friendship also. Are you nearly finished, children? Finish?
No, teacher, number 5.
Number 5. Okay, okay. Nearly finished. Kahom?
Teacher, finish.
Yeah. Kahom? What number are you now, Kahom? Can we
3.
proceed now? Number 3. Do you have, can you screenshot your screen? Can you take a screenshot? Okay, you screenshot now so that we can move on to another.
Yes.
Okay. Finish? Silian?
No.
No. Tahom? Tahom? Okay. So children, we're going to move on. Okay. Going to have this one. Just a moment. Okay. So we're going to have some samples on page 122. Page 122. Math for the book. Okay. Here you go. We're going to have number 1. So we have 52 and 43 hundredths. Okay. So how are you going? How are you going to expand this number, children? Anybody?
500 plus, no, 50 plus 2.
50 plus
2
2. And then plus
plus 0.4
0.4 plus
plus 0.03.
0.3. Okay. Anybody who cannot understand our lesson for today, children, could you please raise your hand? Okay. So for number 2, how about number 2? We're going to answer first number 2 and then you will be the one to answer now. It's your turn for number 3 until number 5. Okay, so we're going to have number 2. What's number 2? We have 216 and 95 hundredths. 95 hundredths. Hundredths. Okay. So how are you going to expand this, children? What would be the first one?
200 plus
200 plus
10 plus 10
plus 10 plus
6
6. And then next
plus 0.9
plus 0.9. And then next
plus 0.05
okay. 0.05. Okay. So children, for number 3, number 4, in number 5, that would be your turn. Okay, you answer number 3, number 4, and number 5. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Finish.
Finish?
1,000.
Yes. Yes.
6,000.
What is that? Friendship.
ข้อ 3 ข้อ 4 ข้อ 5 ให้ทำเองไม่ต้องบอก
เมื่อกี้เสียงน้องชาย
Are you finished, children?
ถ้าหันรูปอย่างก็บอกไปเลย
Finish? Friendship, could you please? Okay, those who are not yet finished, could you please raise your hand, children? Those who are not yet finished, raise your hand, please. Kahom. Kahom is not yet finished. Who else aside from Kahom? Friendship. Okay. What number are you now, Friendship? Friendship, what number are you now?
Um, number 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 4.
Number 4. How about you, Kahom?
Number
Kahom.
4.
Number 4, okay.
Finish.
Finish. Okay, so we have to wait for Kahom. Okay, so children, just a moment. We're just going to have okay.
Finish.
Okay. Finish. Okay, Kahom is finished. Okay, so we're going to move on with the next activity with number 2. Okay, so I'm going to help you with this one. Okay, so we have here 20, number 1. So we have number 1, activity number 2, number 1. Wow, activity 2, number 1. There you go, just a moment, children. Okay, so number 1, you have 20, and then plus 7, and then plus 0 0.1, 0 0.1, and then next plus 0 0.05. So a while ago, we are writing numbers in expanded form. Now you're going to write down these expanded numbers into decimal form, children. So, how are you going to write this one in decimal form? Anybody?
27.15.
27.15. Great job. You follow?
Yes.
Those who cannot understand, could you please raise your hand so that I know? Those who cannot understand, raise your hand, please. Those who cannot understand, raise your hand, please. Children. No one is raising their hand. So it means everybody understand, right? Okay, so could you please answer number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 of your book? Page 122. You answer activity 2, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Are we clear, children?
Yeah.
Okay, great.